I've always wondered if there would ever be anything that would match the darkness and despair that is my soul. And now there is! Ryan from Constantly Calibrating here, and we are going to be touching on my experiences with the PC version of Gloomywood's new action, stealth, survival horror game, Too Dark. Too Dark starts right off the bat with the pain and misery usually associated with camping. While out in the woods on a camping trip, the main character, Mr. Smith, and his family run into a few, well, let's call them snafus. Snafus, such as your wife being brutally murdered by decapitation, along with, oh, what's this? Your children being stuffed in a van and being kidnapped right before your eyes? Definitely not how you want to spend your summer vacation. Time passes in the game, and it seems that the suburb of Gloomy Ditch is experiencing a lot of missing children. Sounds familiar, and it doesn't really seem like much is being done about it. But this is where you come in. Having been a detective prior to your life turning to an endless shit show, you've gathered some clues to where these children might have been taken, and you're sure as hell not going to lose the opportunity to visit the creepiest damn amusement park ever made. After checking out the digs of your crummy apartment and gazing longingly at a map, you grab your pistol and make your way to Funtown, the Gloomy Ditch Amusement Park. Upon arriving at the amusement park, you find out that there are definitely kids here that shouldn't be, and that there are definitely some folks that you wouldn't want to actually be watching your kids looking after them. This is where you first practice your main goal in the game: save all the children, keep them safe, and eradicate anyone that stands in your way. Essentially, the children you're seeking in the game become an escort mission where you have to lead the children to the way out, where they are free from their creepy captors. Of course, once they reach the way out, they go off by themselves completely unsupervised, which seems like a great idea considering the circumstances. So I really enjoy the atmosphere of this game. I really feel like the art style and the music do a really good job of instilling that really creepy sense of dread going on for it. Plus, the graphics in the game, they're kind of blocky 3D pixels with everything. It's got a real PlayStation 1 vibe going for it, so it's got kind of like that nostalgia factor going with it as well. Probably my favorite part, though, so far has been the story for it. It's really creepy and really dark. You know, there have been other games where kids get abducted and taken away, but usually it feels like, you know, they're taken away because of ransom. You know, people want money for the kids. Too Dark, it really feels like violent and inappropriate things are going to happen to these kids, and I really like the sense of urgency that instills in the player to make sure that we get these kids taken care of and safe. Now, let's take some time to dig into the meat and potatoes of the game, how it plays. The actual mechanics of the game are pretty interesting. You'll run into puzzles, have to find keys and other things in the environment that'll help you progress. You'll also find traps. You can expect to find these traps a lot. Yeah. Now, the combat in the game is mostly centered around stealth. The game tries to encourage you to be thoughtful of your approaches and maybe even consider not fighting, which I understand because the combat can be brutal and the odds are against you with so many different environmental traps that will one-shot you. But if you play your cards right and are able to attack from the shadows, you can get a backstab bonus and really cause some damage, which is pretty cool. So the combat in this game is probably my least favorite part of it. Like I said, the combat is brutal, but that just may be because it just feels really clunky and clumsy and just not very good. Granted, I was playing with a mouse and keyboard. It might be a little bit different with a controller. Didn't really mess around with that option. But it really kind of feels like they maybe have taken that PS1 vibe a little too far with the shitty controls. There are a lot of creepy characters in this game with a lot of malicious intentions. They're doing terrible things to children and are not ashamed. This is where the game gets most of its creepy feeling, just from the inherent evil that comes from those themes, but those themes are what give Too Dark its identity. You shouldn't expect many happy moments from the game, as the dark themes and tense gameplay leave you with a feeling of unease that doesn't really go away. All of this is really just the beginning of the game. There's way more to it, and we've only just got to the tip of the iceberg for it. Don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a lot of insane stuff that can happen in this game. Overall, I really recommend it. It's a great game, great story. Despite some, clunky, clumsy control issues here and there, it's a good game. and the dark themes for it, if you can get past that, you'll really enjoy it. But I think you'll really like the dark themes because we know how dirty you are. Yeah, we know. Just remember that. We know. Anyways, Too Dark is available on Steam, Xbox One, and PS4. Go buy the damn game. Quit being a chicken. It's worth it. Also, please like and subscribe to our YouTube page here. You can check us out on Twitter. Twitter handles @ConCalPod. Or if you want to reach out to me personally, you can reach me at RydaddyF. RYDADDYEFF. Because I like to make things difficult. You know you love it. This has been Ryan from Constantly Calibrating, signing off. I love you. Goodbye.